What's up, everybody? Jack Farr here on behalf of Box to Box Football. I'm joined by James. Before we get into the video, James, it's probably worth mentioning we hit a little bit of a milestone. I wanted to let you maybe speak on that for a second here.
200 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much for getting us to that milestone. Really proud of it. Like, we're not the biggest of channels, all right? This isn't an ESPN, an Arsenal Fan TV. This is two guys just coming together, not really knowing anyone and just trying to build. And to hit 200, it's to a lot of people it's a little, but to us it's everything. 200 is just massive, and we want to build. Next one we want to hit is 500. We want to then hit 1,000. So guys, just keep on subscribing, keep on sharing, keep on liking. Let's get to where we want to get to.
Yeah, guys, it's fun for me and James. First and foremost, that's the whole reason why we started it in the first place. So for us to have fun, but then also kind of get some recognition and some support is honestly means the world, and both of us mean that very dearly. But anyway, without all the mushy stuff, we'll get into the video. So we're going to do a draft on what ifs for Arsenal Football Club. Now, obviously, we're going to start with Arsenal because obviously James's love-hate relationship. I'd say more love, but there's.
Listen, Arsenal is all like, they have disappointed me so many times in my life, Jack. So many times, and I keep on going back to them like an abusive husband. I just love them. I hate it, but I love them.
Well, this is why we're going to start with Arsenal, because Arsenal, like you say, not just a club you support, but it's also a club with a hell of a lot of what-if moments, more than most, I think is fair to say. So we'll start with the trivia question. I think there are a few to go from here, but what I'm going to do with James, and the thing is, it's hard to ask an Arsenal-specific trivia question because James is probably just going to know, but I've tried to do my best, make it a little bit hard on him. James, which two club stalwarts retired at the end of the 2001-2002 season?
Tony Adams and Lee Dixon.
Yeah, so it was just easy for you. So, okay, fine. You get the first pick. Go ahead.
So, guys, we're doing what-if moments throughout Arsenal's whole time.
Right.
But, again, I started supporting Arsenal in 2004-05. So, again, I have good memories of like things happened in the 90s, because especially during Wenger's time. I know everything through Wenger's time. I have great memories of that, but past before Wenger, not the greatest. But in my opinion, this is the biggest defining moment in Arsenal's history. If this moment happens and is successful for us, this time that period we're having right now, it doesn't happen. And it all comes down to one moment in 2006 at Paris against Barcelona.
Yep.
1-0 up, 20 minutes, 15 minutes to go. Henry goes through, he misses, but we'll leave that. But if we go on to beat Barcelona and win the Holy Grail, the one trophy that has eluded this football club, it changes so much. Because not only that, is that Thierry Henry at that time was linked with Barcelona heavily. Yeah, he decided to sign, but if Arsenal win that trophy, he doesn't sign for Barcelona. If we win that trophy, we go into the Emirates as being European champions, and it changes the whole mindset of the football club. Yeah, I do believe Wenger still goes that way, but we go into the season with a lot more pedigree and a lot more belief for the next 10, 15 years, and it changes everything about
I think as well, James, within a 2, 3, 4 year period there, you've got the Invincibles, which is one hell of a standout of an achievement. Couple that with some Premier League wins here and there, and a Champions League thing, and like you say, the whole kind of atmosphere of surrounding Arsenal Football Club totally changing. That was my first pick. That was my first pick.
It's for me, it's the most important pick, because if we would have won that trophy, then Wenger doesn't stay for another 15 years, and we all know what happened with the Wenger out stuff. It doesn't happen, because he finally wins what he's always wanted to win as Arsenal manager. Thierry Henry wins the Ballon d'Or because Arsenal won the trophy, and he's the best player in like the world. We attract more players who left that season, who was Robert Perez, Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell, Laurent. Players don't want to leave then, because they just won a European Championship at Arsenal, and it closes a great chapter of the Invincibles, that whole great era of your Tony Adams, your Patrick Vieiras. It closes the chapter and gives them clarity. Yes, you are one of the greatest to ever do it. but fortunately, we never got that clarity.
Yeah, that's my number one pick. I'm not gonna deny it. I think that was maybe an obvious number one pick. For me, number one pick. What if Arsene Wenger had never moved to Arsenal Football Club? This, I think, isn't just a what if moment for Arsenal. This is a moment for English football, European football. People forget. Obviously, Arsene Wenger won a French league title with Monaco, obviously in the kind of mid-90s there, but then spent a year or two in Japan. I think I can't remember from the time. I did do a little bit of research. I think there were wasn't Cruyff going to be linked as manager, I believe, at that point, and that was kind of he was kind of odds-on favourite, and that would have been a real coup for Arsenal. You'd have said, wow, that would have been fantastic. But this guy comes in, Arsene Wenger, and we have to say that changes the face of English football, British football, European football, professional football across the board. And without him, there's many, many things in football that we haven't seen, least of all that Champions League potential success that we had there, the Invincibles, so on and so forth. I don't think you can underestimate the impact of the man himself.
Well, everyone knows it was rather, of course, what we knew what happened when he left, but the impact Arsene Wenger's had on Arsenal, he really changed Arsenal to the point of view of just being this strong English club with just English core players. He turns Arsenal into this whole international brand of all French, African, Nigerian, Spanish, all these types of players coming in one. And we all know about the things he's doing, changing the diets, getting the place to stretch.
Right.
He means not just so much to Arsenal, but to English football and like the way he's changed the game overall. It is a big one. It is a big one, Jack. But
pick two, James.
Pick two, Jack. I have so many there's so many what ifs, so many what ifs. But what's the most? Because I have a few in my head. But okay, I'm gonna go to 2008.
Okay.
Arsenal play Man United play against Man City. This is before Man City were the big boys at home. I think it was the anniversary of the Munich air disaster. They lose 2-1. Arsenal then play Blackburn on a Monday and beat them 2-0 and go 5 points clear in the league with 10, 15 games or 10 games to go. Then a week later, we go against Birmingham. We go 1-0 down. No. Eduardo goes in for a challenge. He nips the ball over there. He nips the ball past Matthew Taylor. Matthew Taylor goes in extremely hard and breaks his leg, and it killed the players' mentality. It made the Arsenal team scared, and I believe that moment alone stopped us from winning the league that year. Because people seem to forget about that. Obviously, remember the Gael Clichy moment at the end, because Arsenal went 2-1 up in that game. We all remember the Clichy. He falls asleep. Matthew Phillips nips in, gets foul, penalty, goal. Gallas is already down the tunnel. But if Arsenal go on to win that game and Eduardo doesn't get injured, could you imagine Arsenal winning the league in my opinion, the greatest Premier League team of all time, as in the whole dynasty, that Manchester United team, but Arsenal winning the league in the middle of that period?
Right.
That would have changed so much, and that would have validated Arsene Wenger's argument of saying, look, I want to get all these little technical players and you can actually build a team with getting cheap technical players and making them into a solid team. Such a pivotal moment. I remember it was Patrice Evra and William Gallas. They they both spoke about it. Manchester United players, as soon as they watched that game and seeing the Arsenal end up dropping points, they all smelled blood. And to me, that's just a big moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eduardo's career not the same. Arsenal do unfortunately have a history of some of their players with some pretty horrific injuries. Historically, I think we all remember the William Gallas reaction. That's the thing that I remember from those times, and him, his reaction sitting on the ground and how upset he was. Like say, a title in the midst of potentially the greatest English, side of recent memory in that, 3 or 4 year spell for Manchester United there. Can't disagree with you there. So my second pick, I'm going to kind of include Manchester United in this one as well. And it's what if Arsenal had kept Robin van Persie for the 2012-2013 season? Now, the reason why I say that, and people might think, well, that's just one of multiple transfers where, Arsenal have let their better players, let's say, go to some rivals and they've had success. But this one in particular, I think, is interesting. Manchester United conceded 43 goals in that league season. That's 9 more than Manchester City, 4 more than Chelsea, 6 more than Arsenal. 3 more than Everton, same amount as Liverpool, so on and so forth. So you'd say, well, how did they win the league? Well, they scored 86 goals, and Robin van Persie was a huge part of that. Now, Manchester United finished that league with 89 points, which by today's standards is pretty average. Man City in second finished with 78 points. Arsenal finished in fourth with 73, just 5 points off Man City in second position. I just wonder how many points that season Robin van Persie was worth. James, you have a better kind of recall from me with this kind of stuff. Robin van Persie was worth a hell of a lot of points to Manchester United this season. I wonder if you take away those points Robin van Persie gave to Manchester United and you give them to Arsenal, would that potentially mean that Arsenal win the league title in the 2012-2013 season?
Jack, if you're going by points, yes. Like, Robin van Persie was the reason why Manchester United won that league. I can recall on a number of occasions where it was Robin van Persie scoring the winning goal. It was Robin van Persie getting that last-minute goal or like creating something. I think he scored 27 goals that season. I remember some big pivot.
Wasn't it a hat-trick? Southampton game, there was a hat-trick and he got...
Yeah, Southampton game. I remember he scored home and away against Liverpool. He scored home and away against Arsenal. He scored against Chelsea. Like, some of the biggest games Manchester United had that season. He was the one he was the one contributing for them to win the title. Against Aston Villa, he scores a hat-trick. Like, he was an absolute killer that year. And if we're going on points won and then you give them points to Arsenal, yes, definitely. I feel like the interesting thing, if he would have stayed, was that how more devastating Arsenal would look for the next 2 seasons. So think about it. We signed Santi Cazorla the year Van Persie left, and Van Persie was getting assisted by Theo Walcott and Alex Song the year before. Could you imagine if you had Santi Cazorla to make so many chances?
I think the other thing that I want to mention as well is, I'm sure people will say, well, it was the right thing that they got money for him while they did, kind of thing. If Robin van Persie wins the league title and plays some football with Santi Cazorla, I think that guy signs an extension. I don't think that guy leaves the club if that happens.
Every Arsenal fan will tell you right now that is the one, for all the things Arsene Wenger done, that's the one thing that Arsenal fans find it hard to forgive. Right. Wenger picking up that phone call and speaking to Alex Ferguson about the deal and selling him to Manchester United, generally, like, that hurt. That hurt seeing him come to the Emirates and getting a guard of honor. Like, it's honestly the worst thing. Like, we've seen, let's say, Fabregas go and Nasri join Man City and all these players, but Van Persie, the way it happened, how it happened.
And also, that Manchester United team was trash, was absolute trash. That whole season was Robin van Persie and Sir Alex Ferguson, and that was it.
He was the difference maker. Ferguson, after losing to Manchester United on goal difference, said, that is the last time I ever lose a league on goal difference. And like, he went and like secured a guy who won the Golden Boot, scoring 30 goals for Arsenal the season before that. And my thing is this with Van Persie, that if he stays, Arsenal signed Mesut Ozil in 2014, Santi, Ozil, Van Persie. It could have been mad, but the bad side of it is that it's Arsenal, and during that time we also had we were well known for capitulating. So it could have been a thing where we would have been doing well in crunch time. We would have probably capitulated, but man, that generally is a crazy what if.
Yeah. James, your third and final. Let's do it.
Jack, I don't even know if we should do a final. I got about 7 more. Like, I got so many what ifs. But let me be a bit greedy.
Okay.
Let me be just a little bit greedy right now. What if Arsenal would have never went the whole season unbeaten and then instead would have won the quadruple in the 2004 season? Okay. Now, we spoke about this recently when, like, we talked about can Man City win the quadruple, but me looking back at that season, at the 2004 Invincible season, I've said on many occasions that team underperformed and underachieved. That season should have been a treble winning season, minimum. but unfortunately they didn't get it. We had to settle for the unbeaten run. It's great, and we all talk about the 49. But Jack, could you imagine if Wenger would have taken the League Cup a bit more seriously against Middlesbrough, and played his strong team? Bear in mind, he played Jeremy Allier in them man in like a two-legged affair against Middlesbrough.
Right.
Jack, we go on to win the League Cup handily, right? Semi-final of the FA Cup against Manchester United. We rest players like Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry for that game. We didn't put out as strong of a team as like we should have, and we go out 1-0, losing 1-0 to Manchester United from a Paul Scholes goal. I feel like if we play our strongest team against Manchester United at that time, I genuinely do believe that we beat them.
I think it probably says it all if Patrick Vieira is on the bench for one team and Paul Scholes is scoring the winning goal for the other team. That kind of says it all.
And what did I tell you? And then to make it hurt even more, Chelsea beating us at Stamford Bridge. Now, this is not the Chelsea that we remember today. Arsenal were slapping Chelsea up left, right, and centre that time. They were like we own Chelsea. To see them beat us, and then in the semi-final, they lose to Monaco of all teams. They lose to Monaco, and then Monaco go ahead and play Porto in the final. So let's say we beat Chelsea, we got Monaco and Porto to get to the Champions League, Jack.
Doing okay.
It's to me the biggest missed opportunity. They underachieved that season, and it hurts till today. It should have been a quadruple year.
Well, yeah, and I can't disagree with you. A quadruple and an undefeated season. It was well within.
No. I don't think we would have. Listen, forget about the 4 in a row. 4, Jack.
Yeah,
I would take that any day.
But still, I feel like that team was capable of that. I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet for it and say it would happen. We know what can happen in finals of knockout competitions and semi-finals, but yeah, that team is fully capable of that. And yet again, James, what is the status of Arsenal Football Club if something like that does happen? And I guess that's the point of the list. What if? So to kind of end it off, I'm addicted to the transfer market. I love all that kind of stuff. Squad generation. James knows exactly where I'm going here. In the year is 2000. Arsene Wenger has been at the club a few years now, but he's still kind of getting settled in and figuring everything out. 19-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic makes his way to Arsenal Football Club. We've all seen the photos with these shirts on. He doesn't have the most incredible goal record. I believe it was 16 goals, 19 goals, something like that in 40 appearances for his local team. But Arsene Wenger offered him a trial. Zlatan doesn't do trials. Zlatan wants to be the number 9 and the main man. Then goes on to have this glittering career, trophies absolutely everywhere he goes. This kind of legend and cult figure, I think, in terms of all-time lists. I think he would be, as high as a top 10, top 20 player of all time for some people, but I'm sure he might not make some people's top 50 lists. So, kind of hitting and missing there. But as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who potentially stays at Arsenal for maybe the majority of his career, depending on how things go, that's a missed opportunity for me. I just wonder what if.
Zlatan signs for Arsenal. He doesn't stay. He doesn't want to do second fiddles. And if you would have said Zlatan signed around like 2010 or something like that, I get it. But around that time, Arsenal had Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry, 2 of the best strikers in the world. We had the best player in the world around them times in Thierry Henry. It would have been great for Zlatan to sign for us, and don't get it twisted, he would have been a big factor. But I don't think him signing would have been as big as maybe other signings that we missed out.
Guys, James, I know, could talk about what ifs for Arsenal until the cows come home. Let me know in the comments, Arsenal fans. Drop a like as well. Anything major that we missed. I'm sure James is going to kick himself a lot harder than I'm going to kick myself if we've missed anything major. Yet again, just to reiterate, we do really, really appreciate hitting 200 subscribers. Yes, maybe a silly kind of smaller milestone, but for us, it's something that we thoroughly enjoy. And the fact that we can get any sort of recognition from it is fantastic. James, anything from you?
Arsenal fans, man, we've been through a lot. We've Jack generally. There's so many what if. What happens if, let's say, Fabregas doesn't get injured in 2011 and Arsenal win the League Cup and we don't capitulate with that? There are so many what ifs. If you're an Arsenal fan, it hurts, but we move, and hopefully in the next coming years there's some good to look up up on. Maybe Arteta can give us that coveted league title and the Champions League that we so dearly wanted. Maybe the Europa League this season. We never know, guys. But comment down below. Let us know what you think. And like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time.